Hi intermediate, so we started factoring in 7.1. We're going to keep factoring in 7.2. This is factoring trinomials. Trinomials mean you have three terms, right? 1, 2, 3. That's a trinomial. So you're factoring three terms. Okay, now we're going to do the easier case for starters. The easier case is when the leading coefficient is a 1. Whenever the leading coefficient, that's a little different, but whenever the leading coefficient is a 1, how you factor it is that the last term, whatever multiplies to the last term, adds to the middle term. So only the last term makes the middle. So something that multiplies to this but adds to this. So in the first case, what multiplies to 20 would be 1 times 20, 2 times 10, and 4 times 5. So these all multiply to 20, but we need the case that adds to 9. So it would be this case. So x plus 4 times x plus 5. 4 times 5 multiplies to 20. 4 plus 5 adds to 9. So if you FOIL this out, you'll see that you'll get this term. These three terms. Okay, let's try this again. So it's got to multiply to a positive 24, and it has to add to a negative 11. Okay, so again, when the leading coefficient's a 1, only the back term makes the middle. So the things that make 24 are this. Now the thing here is that it has to multiply to a positive but add to a negative. So the only way that's possible is if you have two negatives, because two negatives will multiply to a positive but add to a negative. Okay, again, it has to multiply to a positive but add to a negative. The only way to do that is to have two negatives. So it's got to be this combination. So it's going to be x minus 3 times x minus 8. So this negative 3 times negative 8 multiplies to positive 24. Negative 3 plus negative 8 adds to negative 11. All right, let's try this one. All right, now it's got to multiply to a negative but add to a positive. That means it has to have more positive than negative, which means a smaller number has to be negative for it to add to a positive. So it's got to be this case. By the way, order doesn't matter. Multiplication's commutative. It doesn't matter who you write first. Okay, so this multiplies to negative 28. This adds to 3. By the way, if you don't like the way I'm showing it to you, there are plenty of methods. If you just search the web for factoring, you can see other ways that this is taught. All right, now you never factor with a lead negative, so you actually want to pull that out. It's like you want to pull out a common factor of a negative 1. Okay, so if ever the lead term is negative, you want to factor it out from all three terms. So all three terms will change opposite. They all just happen to be negative, which is why they're all becoming positive. But so you want to factor out the negative from all three terms, and now you do what we were just doing. And then you don't have to write it as a negative 1. You could just write it as a negative. Okay, so it's like somebody FOILed this and then distributed a negative, and that's what made that kind of idea. Okay, I'm going to end the first video here. I'll pick up in the next video. Catch you.